Well, I'd much rather be outside working right now, but the weather's a little unpleasant right now. It's been snowing all day, not even enough to make any difference. Just a big dusting on the ground, but there's ice under that, and it's cold. Rural living has its own set of rules when it comes to weather like this, especially if you live in the South, like I do, and we're not used to getting, sub-zero temperatures. Well, tonight we're going to have 25-mile-an-hour winds with 4 degrees. So do the math on that one. It's going to be cold. I don't care what they say it is. It's going to be cold. So you have to do certain things in order to survive. This morning, I discovered that my well lamp, the heat lamp that I keep on my pressure tank and on my well pump, had burnt out. Don't know when. I checked it probably about 8 o'clock last night. So sometime between 8 last night and 8 this morning, it burned out. Fortunately, nothing froze up in there. About 16, 17 degrees this morning. So inside there, which is surrounded by insulation, foam board, it was probably in the 20s, just enough, But had it went all day, it would have froze everything up in there. So I got the bulb replaced. Then Lily, my dog, broke her door off, going in and out. She goes out 50 times a day. She broke the door off, so I had to go in there, get the door off, repair it, put it back on. And you got to keep the faucets on a drip, okay? Otherwise, I don't know how deep these water lines are buried. I did not install them. I did do the plumbing in the house, but I did not install the water lines, and I would be willing to bet they're not that far down. Even if you live in the city, the standards for how deep they bury the water lines are much different than they would be if you lived up north. So even if you live in a brand new house in the city, probably when it gets around these temperatures, you're better off leaving your water dripping, because it may be very warm in your house. It may be very warm up in your attic or wherever your water lines run, but you don't know how deep they buried them. And especially if they've used any kind of fittings, brass fittings or whatever, those can freeze. And I've found that as long as I remember to keep it dripping, I don't ever have a problem. But we're going to get some pretty cold temperatures, and that wind, I can keep it pretty warm in this place with just my electric fireplace heater. I do got the propane one that will be getting fired up later. But with the wind chill, when I got 25-mile-an-hour winds hitting the house, it really gets cold. So right now I'm running a heater in the new room. I'm running a heater in Lily's dog apartment, which Lily is not in, but I got to keep it running because I also got water lines in there, which I can shut off, and I do have them shut off. That's for the outside spigot. But those are just some of the things you got to think about if you're looking to buy a place in the country. If you're doing it yourself, man, do yourself a favor. It doesn't matter if you're in Miami Beach, okay? Bury those water lines a little further than what they say you should bury them. If it says 2 foot, bury them 4 foot. Because if I've ever got to dig these up here, which I'm probably going to do and replace with PEX, because I'm sure it's PVC pipe under the ground, I'm going to bury them deep enough where I will never have to worry about them again. But I've been here almost 11 years. It'll be 11 years. Actually, I looked at this house 11 years ago this month, but I closed on it in April of 2014. So it'll be 11 years in April. But you just got to make sure that, and when I bought the place, the first time me and my brother, we got the well going, we had to replace the pump, the pressure tank. The place had been sitting for years. And all the water lines burst because this house hadn't been heated for how many winters, and all the lines in the house had froze and broke and cracked. PVC does not last good in those kind of conditions. So you're better off doing the work when you can, and just for safe peace of mind, And I do have the option here to go to city water. It's actually county water. But man, they want a fortune for the deposit. Then you got to pay to have the line put in, all the, and I probably will do that eventually. But the guy that had this well dug, he's passed away. The guy that built this house, he told me that there is a virtual lake under here that will never. The guy that drilled it said there's no way this thing will ever go dry, and it has served me well for my 11 years. I've never had any trouble with it. I've had to replace the pressure tank once, and still the same well pump that we put in 11 years ago. That's probably going to be coming up soon. But as long as I got my well and it's providing me with water, I don't see any reason to switch and go to the city water. It's just another bill that I don't have to have. And now with water, I've got the water filtration reverse osmosis gadget. I can just pour it out of the tap, pour it in that machine. It gives me good, pure water. So I don't have to worry about any pollutants in there. I don't have to worry about anything. And I have drank that water just the way it comes out of the well, and it's, it's got the taste to it, the metallic taste, but it's good water. My dogs have been drinking it for years, and the chickens drink it. Rooster does not drink it. She won't. She will not touch it. You got to give her either bottled water or she likes the purified water now. Picky dog, picky with her food, picky with everything. So yeah, all these things. I try to think ahead. When we know cold weather's coming, I try to think ahead and get all this done. And it always seems like something happens, something pops up you got to fix or take care of. And in 2 days, we're going to be back in the 60s, by the beginning of next week in the low 70s. That's usually, and I've looked back like on my Facebook memories, and I see the exact same thing happened 10 years ago. Same amount of ice. It's weird. I seen a picture on there from 2015, and it looks exactly the same. So history repeats. We always get, especially in February, we always seem to get a weather pattern like this. Sometimes in December, January was a little unusual here this year, but they happen time and time again, year after year after year. It isn't global warming or anything like that. It's always happened that way. It's winter. In winter, you get cold weather. Sometimes it's unexpected. But we are doing good here. Got a couple of days to get through. I made a big pot of chili. Keep that on the stove. I haven't been eating breakfast. I always just ate on this carnivore. I've been eating just breakfast and then a dinner. But with egg prices going up and everything else, I kind of skip breakfast now, and I eat a lunch, an early lunch, like 10:30, 11, and then at 5 o'clock, I'll eat my dinner. I try to eat the same time every day. So I've been going to, instead of breakfast foods, I've been eating other things. And it doesn't matter as long as you eat. But I wish eggs, I can't wait till they come down in price again, and I can go back to eating some eggs and bacon and stuff like that. But anyway, we are doing good here. I put a video up today. In the video, I took you around and showed you what I've cleared back here. So if you haven't seen that on my other channel, Ouachita Mountain Living, there'll be a link in the description for my main channel. Go check that out. I walked around and showed you all the back corner that I cleared. It's quite the job, but we're getting there. I think another couple of weeks, I'll have everything cut down and start on cutting little stumps flush, picking up rocks, getting everything cleaned up, and maybe start burning. This would be perfect weather to burn. Problem is that stuff's just been cut down. It's so green, it's not gonna. It would take 50 gallons of diesel just to get it to light up. It would burn eventually. But now it's covered in ice, and I mean covered in ice. That would have to melt, and then it would have to dry up. It ain't worth it. It's just too green. I'll let it sit a while. There's going to be plenty of other opportunities to get it burned. And there's no sense in starting that until everything's cut down. Then it's all done. Once it's burned up, it's gone. Then I'll just throw some grass seed down, replace where the burn holes are, where the burn spots. I'll spread grass seed, and we should have some good grass by spring. So I'm looking forward to getting that done, because it's going to be beautiful this spring with that all gone. And he's getting in there, my neighbor's getting in there, and he's going to cut the rest of it down. So there is going to be a nice, especially in the back, there's going to be a nice view all the way across of the mountains in the back with no weeds. And it goes downhill, and there's a creek down there. So it would be nice to be able to see that. It's just been overgrown for so many decades. It's just going to take a lot of work, but we're going to get it done. So thought I'd jump on here and give you all a quick podcast. Nothing real, any real topic, but just letting you know that we're doing fine, and hope everybody stays warm. Happy trails.